I am calling bullshit on generation theory. You know the one I'm talking about? The baby boomers and the millennials. Yeah, I know it's all exciting to talk about these ideas and these classifications and try group humans, but I think we're making a fundamental mistake, and that is what I want to address in this video. So stick around. Hey, welcome to Lead Loud. My name is Richard Mulholland. I'm the founder and chief evangelist of Presentation Powerhouse Missing Link. And every week on this channel, I try and answer questions for you around presentation, public speaking, and persuading the other humans. Now, this week, the question I want to answer for you is one I get asked a lot. How do I speak to millennials? They're so different. No, they are not. In order to explain this, what I want to cover is I want to take you back to a talk I did a few years ago where Pastor Rich is going to describe to you just why this is such a fallacy, where it stemmed from, and what the problems with it are. I hope you enjoy it. As an aside, watching this, I really kind of got an understanding of the one loss that I have when presenting online, because I could see that this was an audience that was, DTF. They just wanted to have a good time. And because of that, I laid it on a bit thick. It started feeling a bit more like a comedy show. But online audiences are kind of unable to do that. So I always just, average it out a little bit and try not to push the boundaries too hard. So that was a small little aside of a lesson that I learned from presenting this way. However, I hope you enjoy it and I hope you find value, and stick around because I got a little message at the end of it where I maybe call bullshit on myself slightly, or not, but kinda. We'll see.
But we've seen this lie before, this retrofitting of history, first, second, third, right? We see this all the time when people talk about generation theory. Generation theory, millennials, blah, blah, blah. So let's talk how generation theory started. You're familiar with the term, anybody not familiar with the term baby boomers? You got it, right? So baby boomers, this is very, very simple. There was this guy, bad guy. Once upon a time, there was an evil prick called Hitler. Okay? Hitler did lots of bad shit and people went to war. And all the people went to war, and all the men went to war, and all the women stayed behind. In 1945, Hitler died, all the men came home, and what did they do? They shagged so much. They had so much sex that in 1946, a lot of babies were born. Now, they were born all at the same time, which was quite tricky, but also they were born into an area where nobody had any money because war is expensive. Careers were lost, buildings were blown up, and they had to build up a country. People were living on food stamps. So all of a sudden, you had a generation that was born understanding extreme poverty. They understood what it was like to have nothing. But it wasn't like there was a them and us. It was just an us. Every one of them had nothing. And they all had to grow up together. And what they did is they worked bloody hard and they rebuilt nations. And at the end of that, they were like, okay, we can have a wee break. And they shagged. And when they shagged, they had this next group of people here called Generation X. Now, Generation X, they didn't have it quite as tough. In fact, they were like, this is pretty rad, let's have sex and drugs. To which they had a lot. And this was like basically my parents, I was kind of here, this is my parents, this was me. And it was an amazing time, free love, free everything. But even here now is already blurring the lines slightly because there was no one event that caused all of these things to happen. And then we get onto the next group of people that they're calling Generation Y. Now here's where it gets really blurry for me. What event happened that made this a group of people? Because no one was fucking on a schedule anymore, right? It wasn't a thing like dinosaurs. Hey, honey, I'm home, it's Thursday, right? Nobody had that anymore. We'd gone off the schedule, come home from war, have sex. Good, I know that. So it turns out this is not a generation. This is just a group of people, some of whom happen to be born at this time. And of course, we're getting onto this group now, Generation Z. I like that we've got Nick Haralambis here, but he's not wearing socks. But no, this is Generation Z, born after 1995. We've got to stop this bullshit. If somebody walks up to you and says, hey, yeah, or if any single one of you turns around and uses the fact that you're a millennial for an excuse for anything, you're an idiot. I thought I can't do it because I'm a millennial. Bitch, slap yourself upside the head. Be unique. right? Have an opinion on your own. You don't have to do anything because of when your parents shagged, right? You could just decide to be an individual. That's just, being a millennial as an excuse is as bad as believing in star signs. And if you believe in star signs, I don't even know where to start. My dad is a millennial. My father is, and I say this just as an honest fact, my father is fundamentally addicted to Facebook. He loves it. He's connected to his friends. He's not seen since we moved from Scotland. They're all connected. And every day my dad comes to my house like, Richard, look, did you see that thing I shared with you? Look. And he shows me. And then I start speaking to him and he's gone because he's liking something on Facebook. My dad says that he doesn't like reading big books anymore. My dad gave me my love for reading. But my dad's attention span has also shrunk, because it turns out that it's affecting all of us the same way. We're all millennials because that's how we're behaving right now. And as proof for this, just to show you how different this Generation Z are not, I found a study, right? A study of what Generation Z, what makes them different and unique. Okay, let's have a look at this. Right, number one, 77% expect to work harder than previous generations, because most of us thought we'll do nothing. Right, 5 years after college, they'd like to be either entrepreneurs, having a job, or managing people. Wow. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to cope with this difference. The average number of organizations they actually expect to work for in their career is 4. Let's see what else. Career attitudes. 82% say their parents will help influence their career decisions. Guys, this is pure anarchy. 30% would say content to 20% pay cut to work for a company with a mission they really deeply care about. 50% would like to retire before the age of 60. Is there anyone here who wouldn't like to retire before the age of 60? I often get asked, oh, what do you think makes somebody successful? You are successful when you've made enough money to successfully retire and live out your life comfortably, and actually do, right? Then fucking start a charity, change the world. But if you're still going to work and you don't need to, you're an asshole. Anyway, okay. Attitudes, Sean, I'm not speaking to you specifically here, okay? Attitudes towards co-workers, blah, blah. This is all the same shit. This is the study. We believe these people are so different, but it's not, because we live in a blended reality. This and stop. There is no more generation. The only way we'll have another generation like baby boomers again is if we have a big event that causes that to happen. Otherwise, all we're getting is this. We're in the middle of things happening at all given time. Someone's being born, someone's dying. A new technology is evolving, a new one is dying. This is a reality. There is...
All right, so there we go, generation theory. However, I did say there are no more big events. There was a big event. I think we now have the second, maybe third. So baby boomers, an event. Gen Xers, explainable. Now, pandemicals, or whatever you want to call them. This generation, the change that we're in from now, because there was a cataclysmic event that changed everything. We are presenting online. We are changing the way we think about going to the office. This is a big fundamental shift, and this is a generation, a grouping that we need to be thinking about. However, don't think about it in terms of the age you are. Think about it in terms of the age you are in. That's it from me. I hope this has been helpful. Stop just believing the bullshit that people tell you. Start questioning it more and go out there and lead loud. Peace.